We can. There. Good Friday morning to everybody. Hope you are doing well on this Friday. As we are at the final game of the July 2nd schedule, 1987. Finishing up on the West Coast, Boston Red Sox taking on the Oakland A's. It'll be Al Nipper on the mound for the Red Sox against Joaquin Andujar. That'll be our pitching matchup. Andujar 2-2, Nipper 5-8 on the replay. Hello, Philip. I got tired of the white D20, so I went back to the red D20 that came with the tower because that white D20 was just driving me crazy. So I decided to go back to the red one and see if we can get a little more variety in the rolls, not coming up 1 and 2 all the time. Boston comes into the game 33-44. Oakland comes in 46-30. So we'll look at Nipper in the bottom of the first. Right now, we'll concentrate on Joaquin Andujar for the Oakland A's. 1987, Joaquin Andujar was 3-5 with a 6.08 ERA. Not very good, obviously. As we look into the Strat computer and see how he's done on the replay, he's 2-2 with an ERA of 4.46, so much, much better. 34 innings pitched, 33 hits, 11 walks, and 19 strikeouts. One thing a little alarming for him is he's given up 9 home runs in 34 innings of pitching. He gave up 11 home runs in 61 innings real world. So the Gopher ball's been, a little bit higher up on his results than he would like. But we'll see how the dice treat us today. Obviously, the game today, not going to be as good as the game yesterday morning, but no game is really. So each game has their own quirks and whatnot. Andujar, a -2 with his hold, and Steinbach a 0, so he's a -2. Wild pitch 7, balk a 0. Steinbach has a pass ball of 7. So this is game 538, Oakland Coliseum, very pitcher friendly. 3s for singles, 5 for home runs, both sides of the plate. And Marty Barrett will lead things off for the Red Sox. Barrett hitting .318 on the replay. No homers, 24 driven in. He hit .293 real world. Make sure I've got this where I want it here. I think I do. And before the first pitch, we have the ceremonial first sip. Hoping that's it. Well, it's been a pretty long-standing tradition right now on the channel. Another Jeffrey Gudeman inspiration. All right, so we are ready to get this ball game underway. And it is Mr. Marty Barrett. It's a 1-7, and he's going to ground it to short. Alfredo Griffin makes the play. 1 down. Send up number 2 hitter Todd Benzinger, center fielder. He's a 4 in center. It's kind of risky having a 4 in center field, but that's what the Red Sox are doing. For some reason, Ellis Burks is on the bench, and I guess they're having the Todd Benzinger experiment. Benzinger is hitting .293 on the replay. 1 homer, 4 driven in. He hit .278 real world. Switch hitter. It's a 1-5. And a 1-5 is a ground ball to first. McGuire gets it, steps on the bag. 2 up, 2 down very quickly. And here's Wade Boggs. Boggs hitting .358 on the replay. 15 homers, 42 driven in. He hit .363 real world. It's a 4-6, and that's a base on balls. First walk issued by Andujar. Boggs not a threat to run, though. He'll hold. And here's cleanup man Mike Greenwell. He's taken over left field while Rice is on the bench. I guess he has a nagging injury or something. He's on the bench right now, not playing. So Greenwell on the replay is hitting 85, 11 homers, 26 driven in. He hit 328 in the real season. It's a 2-5 for Greenwell. That's a ballpark blast, but unfortunately in Oakland, it's only a 1-5. And that's a 17, so that will be a fly to right field. And that will take care of it. It was either a 17 or a 7. Either it was kind of in between, but either way, it fails the home run check. I think it was leaning towards 17 more than anything else. So that's going to do it for the Red Sox in the top of the first. They go quietly. A walk does no damage. Go to the bottom of the first, and junk baller Al Nipper will be making his way to the mound. Al Nipper in 1987. 11-12 with a 5.43 earned run average for Al Nipper. We'll see what he's done on the replay. On the replay, he is 5-8, ERA of 6.77, 94 innings pitched, 123 hits, 40 walks, 59 strikeouts, and he's given up 26 home runs in 94 innings of pitching. So he has definitely had a rough go of it so far. We'll see if that continues or whether he gets a reprieve. Luis Polonia will lead things off for the Oakland A's. He's hitting 269 on the replay, 3 homers, 14 driven in. He hit 287 in the actual season. Nipper is a +4 hold. He's a +4, and Sullivan's a 0. So the A's may be looking to run here. Wild pitch is a 6, balk's a 0, and Sullivan, his pass ball is a 14. So that could be problems down the road too. 4-8, and that's going to be a 1-4 triple, 5-20 double. So they've already got problems. They don't have to worry about down the road. He's got a problems on a first at bat. It's a leadoff double for Luis Polonia. And as somebody once said, there goes the no-hitter. All right, here is Mike Davis, right fielder, hitting 292 on the replay, 16 homers, 48 driven in. He at 265 real world. 2-7 for Davis. That's a strikeout. Nipper comes back with a K. One away for Jose Canseco. He is the designated hitter in this game. Usually plays left field, but doing the DHing today. (4-7), and that's going to be a single 1-17. Anything else he lines to short. That's an 18, so that's going to be snagged by shortstop Spike Owen. 2 down. Canseco got robbed of a hit there. 2 outs now, clutch situation for Mark McGwire. McGwire hitting 290 on the replay, 26 homers, 56 driven in. He at 289 real world. 5-4, and that's a ballpark single check, 1-3. Not very good chance there. And that's going to be a 14, so that's going to be a pop-up to third, and that will end the inning. So leadoff double goes for naught. And at the end of 1, we have no score from Oakland Coliseum. Top of the second we go, and Mr. Don Baylor, the designated hitter, steps to the plate. He'll be followed by Evans and Buckner. Baylor on the replay. Hitting 233, 8 homers, 39 driven in. Hit 245 real world. That is a 4-6, and that's going to be another walk from Andujar, his second. Leadoff walk, and sometimes leadoff walks can really come to get you. Here's Dewey Evans, right fielder, back in right field where he belongs. Had him at first base for a while Buckner was out, but he's back in right field. Evans hitting 347 on the replay, 17 homers, 54 driven in. He hit 305 real world. 6-5, and that's a split. 1-4 is a single. 5-20 lines to Griffin. And that is a liner to short. 1 away. Good morning, Yoko and John. Let me answer your question at the end of the inning, John. Once the inning's over, I'll answer your question about the Barnes & Noble thing. All right. Up next is Bill Buckner. He's hitting 269 on the replay. 3 homers, 23 driven in. He hit 286. Real world. Buckner, 6'10", left-handed. That's an in-home run chance, 1-9, but he has weak power. So at best, it would be a single 2 stars. This could be a double 10-20. That's a 16, so it will be a double. Double is assumed to go to center field. Center fielder Murphy's a 0 arm. Baylor's a 12, not being held as a 13. They could try to send him 1-13. I think they will. Buckner will stay at second. 1-13, he scores. And he does. So it's an RBI double from Bill Buckner. And the Red Sox strike first. RBI double from Bill Buckner. Red Sox on the board. Here's Spike Owen. Owen hitting 235 on the replay. Homer and 13 driven in. He at 258 real world. 1-9, and that is a walk. Third walk issued by Andujar. Baylor, who walked, has already scored. So one of the walks has already scored on Andujar, and that's not a good place to be. Start walking, guys. Here's Mark Sullivan hitting 194 on the replay. 2 homers, 14 driven in. He at 169 real world. A's would love a double play right about now. 5-9. It's a pop-up to third. Carney Lansford is there. 2 down. Now it's a clutch situation for Marty Barrett. And in the clutch, he loses hits 112 and 2-8 and 3-5 and 3-8. So loses 4 hits. Talk about anti-clutch. He's definitely falling into that category, according to the Strat-O-Matic ratings. .210, and that's going to be a pop-up to second base, and that's going to end the inning. Yoko, you might have been away for a while because I've had this dice tray for a couple of weeks now. Let's see, a run is scored, though. It's 1-0 Red Sox. But, yes, I do like it. It's smaller, takes up less room, definitely makes less noise. But because the chute is so small, I roll the D6s separate from the D20 because trying to roll all 4 gets a little crowded in there, and I just don't think they mix up quite as well. So that's just my opinion. All right, let me get to your question here, John. Let's see, cards. There are several cards that have... let's see, your duplicate players with different stats. Well, it depends. I mean, sometimes it depends how Strat does it. A lot of times, if a guy has switched leagues, he will have a National League card and an American League card, and sometimes even a third card with the combined totals. If that's the case, then I take the totals with the team he's playing. That's my choice. I mean, some people like to take the overall body of work and just use that card everywhere. I tend to like to use the card that accumulated with that particular team, but that's all personal preference. If he's traded within the same league, it's just one combined card for the player, and I just go into the baseball reference or retro sheet or something I can use, or a computer, a Strat computer or Action PC computer, find out where he was on opening day and put those cards on him for opening day. Some people like to play it as carded, so wherever they card him, that's where they're going to keep him. It's all personal preference for Strat-O-Matic. That's the beauty of Strat-O-Matic. Play it the way you like to play it. All right, so 1-0 Red Sox, and here come the A's. Carney Lansford will lead things off for the Oakland A's. Lansford, whoops, let's finish the pop-up by Barrett in the computer so I'm get on the same page. Here we go. Lansford, 273 average for Lansford on the replay. 10 homers, 43 driven in. He hit 289 real world. That's a 2-8 for Lansford, and he's going to get a solid single to right field. Leadoff single for Lansford with the +4 from Nipper. Lansford's going to look to get a lead here. Needs a 2 through 5, 2, 3, 4, or 5 to get the good lead. Doesn't get it, he'll hold. That'll bring up Dwayne Murphy, the center fielder. Veteran from way back in the Billy Ball heydays of the Oakland A's. Davis on the replay, only hitting 159 and 44 at bats, a homer and 6 driven in. He hit 233 in the actual season. 4-8 lefty. That's a 1-4 triple. 5-20 is a double. That is going to be a double for Dwayne Murphy. Lansford was being held, which makes him a 12. So they're going to, and the -1 arm from Bensgard to actually make him 11. So with nobody out, they're going to keep it station to station and go second to third, nobody out. Keep the pressure on. And catcher Terry Steinbach is your batter for the A's. Hello, Dan. Good to see you. Steinbach, 268 average, 4 homers, 14 driven in. He hit 284 in the real season. Steinbach. Infield is back for the Red Sox. It's early. 3-3, and that is a fly ball to right field B ? Plus a possible injury on Steinbach. So we'll deal with the injury later. The fly ball right field B. Lansford's a 13. When it's a B ? You add 2, make it a 15. But then you got Evans -4 to make it a 1 to an 11. I don't know if you want to run on Dwight Evans. It's probably not a good idea. So we're going to hold him there, and now we'll check Steinbach for injury. Steinbach 1-6, he stays in the game. 7-20, he's got to come out, and Mickey Tettleton will catch. And that is a 15. So Steinbach's got to come out, and the A's will turn to their backup catcher, Mickey Tettleton. He will take over for Steinbach. Just an in-game injury. Steinbach will be back on the next game. So Tettleton will take over for Steinbach. And we'll get his peripheries. He's a T6. He's a 3+1 E7. So how about that? They got the same range and error rating, 3 and a 7. And they run it at 10. So that's very similar. Not sure about the pass ball. I'd have to look up on the computer. So Tettleton will come in and catch in the 3rd inning for the injured Steinbach. So 1 away, 2nd and 3rd, still the base situation for Tony Phillips, second baseman. Phillips on the replay, hitting 243, 4 homers, 29 driven in. He hit 240 on the actual season. That's a 1. So it's a wild pitch chance on Nipper, which is 6. And that's a 3. So Nipper's going to let one get away and go into the backstop. Murphy will score on the wild pitch, and Tettleton will take 3rd. We have a tie game. Now the Red Sox will bring the infield in with a runner at 3rd and 1 out. That's another 1. And at this time it is blocked by Sullivan. Here's Phillips. 5-6 left-handed. That's a strikeout for Nipper, his 2nd. 2 down. And with a clutch situation coming up for Alfredo Griffin. Griffin in the clutch will gain hits or gain a hit on 3-11. Everything else he is neutral. Griffin hitting 270 on the replay. 2 homers, 32 driven in. He at 263 real world. 1-8, and that's going to be a triple 1-7, single 8-20. Either way, the A's will take the lead. And that's going to be a 5. So that's a triple for Alfredo Griffin. And this red die is coming up low on the D20, same as the white die. I don't know what to do with it. It just keeps coming up low numbers. Griffin, that's his 2nd triple of the replay. He had 5 of them real world. Hello, Jeremiah. So the A's reclaim the lead, or never had, but they take the lead for the first time, rather, 2-1. And that's a 2, so chance for balk or pass ball. We're looking at a pass ball chance on Sullivan. That's a 14, 1-14, and Griffin will score. And he does, so it's a pass ball from Sullivan. So this red double die is definitely being a double out there. 3 runs in. Here's Polonia. 1-4, and that's a fly to right to end the inning. A's take a 3-1 lead. Hello, Jim. Good to see you. Dan, hadn't seen you in a couple of days. Hope you're doing well, whatever your hobby and vocation is. Here's Todd Benzinger. Benzinger grounded to first in his first time up. A's now lead at 3-1. The Red Sox 1-0 lead did not last long, obviously. Here's Benzinger. That is a 2-4 for Benzinger, and he's going to ground it right back to Andujar. Easy play, one away. For Wade Boggs. Boggs, first time up, drew a base on balls. If you didn't get a chance to catch the game yesterday morning, Dan, it might be worth a look. As history was made. All right, here's Boggs. 6-10, and that's an in-home run chance, 1-9. 10-20 is a double. And that's a double for Wade Boggs. Double for Boggs. With one out, and here's Greenwell. 6-9 for Greenwell, and that's trouble. 1-5 is a triple. 6-20 is a single, 2 stars, so the run's going to score either way. That's a single for Mike Greenwell, but it's 2-star single. Boggs scores, cuts the lead to 3-2. Greenwell will not try to attempt any steals. Here's Don Baylor. In fact, he won't even be held. Here's Don Baylor. Good morning, RN. 112. That's a fly to left, 2 down. I'll give you a hint, Dan. You have to go to the end of the video to, or near the end of the video to, or near the end of the stream, I mean, to see what I'm talking about, because the early part of the game, you're not going to detect anything. But certainly the end will. All right, here is Dwight Evans. 6-10, and that's going to be a straight-up in-home run for Evans, and that is gone. No question about it. In-home run on the 6-9 and 6-10 against Andujar. That's his 10th home run he's given up in 38 innings of pitching. He is a go-for-ball specialist, which is why they have these in-home runs here. Evans doesn't miss it, and the Red Sox reclaim the lead. Actually, they tied the game, rather. 3-3. No, they do reclaim the lead. It's the third run of the innings, 4-3, Red Sox. For Evans, that's his 18th home run of the replay. He had 34 of them real world. RBI is 55 and 56 for Evans. Red Sox take a 4-3 lead, and here's Buckner. All this with 2 outs. 6-7, and that's a ground ball second base X. Tony Phillips. Tony Phillips, that's a 3. That's going to get through for a base hit. Will it be an error attached? He's an E. Ooh, that's a 16. That could be trouble too. E21 and a 16. I'm sorry, E21 and a 16. E21, no, he got lucky. 4, 13, and 17 are the errors, but the 4 and the 3 are definitely a single. So base hit for Bill Buckner. He's 2 for 2. He's certainly no threat to run. He's one of the slowest people in the league. He and Ron Say probably have a tie for that. And here's Spike Owen. That's a 3-11 for Owen, and that is a ballpark single check, but it's only 1-3. And that's an 18, so he will line it to short. I'm sorry, line it to second. 3 runs for Boston. They get back the 3 runs they just gave up. Go to the bottom of the third. We got a slugfest here in Oakland. It's 4-3 Red Sox. I think speaks to the lack of pitching in this one. Nipper back out. All of a sudden, he's got a lead to work with. And he'll be facing Mike Davis, Canseco, and McGuire. 5-4, and that's a pop out to third. 1 away. Canseco back up. He lined to short his first time up. He is the DH in this game, which means Hot Dog Jackson's on the bench. 5-6, and that's a strikeout for Nipper. That's his third. And that'll send up McGuire. That's a 1-6 for McGuire, and that's a straight-up home run, as Mr. Goodwin would say, clean as a baby's behind. Let's get a close-up. 1-6 right-handed. Mark McGuire is a no-doubter. It's gone. We got a tie game once again at 4. As like I said, neither pitcher seems to be able to control things. McGuire, that's his home run number 27 on the replay. And I don't know why. Maybe it's because it's going to be hot today. I don't know. When I come up here between 9 and 10, someone always wants to use power tools next door. I don't know what the deal is. Whether it's a lawnmower, weed eater, saw, something. So I don't know if it's picking up in the background of the sound here, but I can definitely hear it myself. So kind of annoying, but you would think this time of the morning you'd get some peace and quiet, but apparently not. So here's Carney Lansford. Definitely loud. You guys got it. This has got to be picking up on the microphone somehow or another. All right, here's Lansford 2-5, and that is a triple 1-8, double 9-20, and that is a 6. So that will be a triple for Lansford. He had 4 triples real world. This is his 4th triple of the replay. So the triples are coming up hot and heavy here by Lansford. Brings up Mike Davis. That's a 3-9 for Davis, and that's a 1-17 single. 18-20 is a line out, but a 1-17, the A's reclaim the lead, which they do. Base hit for Murphy. Scoring is Lansford. And the A's retake the lead. A score of why is this computer not giving me this home run here? Hold on. Something didn't go right on the computer, so let me fix this. Let me get the let me see what's going on here on the play-by. I think I'm misentering something on the computer, which can happen. I'm trying to play the game and the computer at the same time. Let's see, no McGuire home run. There we go. Or did something happen in the previous inning that didn't pick it up? Oh, something happened in the previous inning. I'm going to go back and fix that on the computer because something didn't register a 3rd run there. But it is, in fact, 5-4. I'll fix it after the fact. I can go back in and look at the play-by-play and edit the stats in the computer to make sure they're correct. Here is Mickey Tettleton. Tettleton, 2-9, and that's going to be a strikeout to end the inning. 4th for Nipper. But 2 runs come in, and the A's lead at 5-4 after 3 innings of play here at Oakland Coliseum. It's just a matter now which starting pitcher can hang for a little bit and not give up so many runs. Here's Mark Sullivan. I'm sorry, that was not Steinbach. That was Tettleton. So I forgot to put the substitution in the computer, so let me do that real quick. Sub in Tettleton on the computer so that he gets credit for that strikeout. So there we go. Now it's got to put Tettleton in the game as the catcher, and we're all set. There we go. So we'll see how Andujar does with the new battery mate. He didn't do so well in the 3rd inning. Maybe he does better in the 4th inning. Sullivan, 3-7, and that's a strikeout. That is the first strikeout of the game for Andujar. Took him 4 innings to get it, but he gets one. And now here is Marty Barrett. 5-9, and that's going to be a pop out to 3rd, 2 down. So 2 up, 2 down, and here's Benzinger. He's 0 for 2. 3-7, and that's a strikeout. So Andujar comes through with a shutdown inning, keeps his team in the lead, and puts them back in the dugout so they can do more damage. A 5-4 ball game, bottom of the fourth. It'll be Tony Phillips due up for the A's. Phillips struck out his first chance. 4-6, and that is a 1-4 single. 5-20, he lines to second. And that's a liner to second base, 1 out. If I don't have lawnmowers, I got weed eaters or chainsaws or something back there making all this noise. You would think between 9 and 10 in the morning would be a solitude time of peace, but apparently not around here in this neighborhood. So here is Griffin, 3-12, and that's a fly to center, 2 down. Two up, 2 down, and back to the top of the order for Polonia. 1-9, and that's a ground ball to first, and Buckner will take it to the bag himself, and Nipper has a kind of a recovery inning. We go to the 5th, and this is the fatigue inning for Andujar, number 5. Keep an eye on him as he sets off against Wade Boggs. Boggs a walk and a double. That's a 4-10 rather. Catcher X on the 4-10. And the catcher, Tettleton, is a 3-7 just like Steinbach was. 3-11 with nobody on base is not a problem. So now we're going to go, let's see, 3-11 is actually going to be a pop out. He is an E7, and that is an 11. E7, there's no 11 there, so it's a pop out to Tettleton. Boggs will pop it out to Tettleton, 1 away. And that'll bring up Mike Greenwell. 6-11, and that's a ballpark single check, but it's only 1-3. And he will line it to second. I want to start playing these games at 7 in the morning to try to beat the noise, apparently. That's what Jeffrey Guterman used to do, play like 6 in the morning. But I'm not getting up that early. Here's Baylor, 4-8. Struck him out in the inning. I used to have to do that, and I don't want to do that anymore. Boy, am I putting these in the wrong spot? I did that in the game last night. I don't know why. I think I'm getting distracted by all this noise. It was Boggs, liner to second, and a strikeout. Strikeout number 3. Put these things in the wrong batting order. All right. But Andujar goes 1-2-3, so he keeps full endurance into the 6th. And the A's still lead at 5-4. Here is Nipper back out. He'll face Mike Davis, right fielder, Mike Davis. Davis is 0 for 2. 6-3, ballpark single check, but again, not very promising, 1-3. And that will be a liner to second base. 1 away for Jose Canseco. Canseco 1-9, and that will be a straight out single for Jose Canseco. And he's going to be looking to run, no question about it. Especially with that +4 from Nipper. That's just too tempting not to. So Canseco, but he needs a 6. That's the only way he gets the good lead. Doesn't get it. Could try to run without the good lead, but that would be an 11. 4 for being held would be 7. +4 to be an 11. Only a 55% chance. So I think they'll hold him there. And here is Mark McGuire. Homered his last time up. 2-11. This time he grounds it to short. It's a fielder's choice. 6-4. What? This is just getting on my nerves now. I use a different tower to reduce the noise, and I got to deal with chainsaws. What are you going to do? You live in the country, and somebody wants to do some arboring out there or something. I don't know. Here's Lansford. 3-10, and that is a ground ball to short to end the inning. So nothing doing there for the A's. We go to the 6th inning. Score still 5-4. And Andujar keeps full endurance with him as he will face Dwight Evans, who homered his last time up. A's bullpen does have activity. Brandly new minted, brought up reliever Greg Cadaret is loosening the bullpen. He just got added to the roster, so he obviously has the freshest arm. So left-hander Greg Cadaret has been added. Here's Dwight Evans. 4-6, and that's a walk. So Andujar gives up his fourth walk. Those walks are going to come back to get him. Here's Bill Buckner. That's a 2, balk or pass ball. We're looking at a balk chance on Andujar, which I believe is a 0, and it is, so no balk chance. 5-7, that's a split. 1-14 is a single. 15-20, he lines to Phillips. And that's a base hit, single 1 star. And now Greg Cadaret loosening a little bit more fervently, as he maybe needed quicker than he thought. Here is Spike Owen. I would bunt with Owen. He's an A bunter, but the next guy is Sullivan. He's a terrible hitter, so I don't want to do that. 5-3, switch hitter. Ground ball first base X. This is McGuire. McGuire is a 3E12. 3 and a 6. That's going to be probably a G3 at best. 3 and a 6 is a G3 pound, but he wasn't holding any runners on, so he'll get to it at least. He's an E12, and that is an 8. First base, E12. There is no, over here. E12, there's a 6 and a 9, but no 8. So McGuire will get to it, and he will flip to Andujar covering. Runners advance, so it acts like a pseudo sacrifice, even though he won't get credit for one. He will still be charged the at-bat. That will bring up Sullivan, and we're not in the 7th inning, so my rule is, unless there's a pitching change, no pinch hitting. So Sullivan is up. Infield is in. 1-9 for Sullivan. Ground ball to short A, and that's going to freeze the runners. So he cannot bring the run home. 2 down. Clutch situation now for Marty Barrett. Barrett in the clutch. We've already seen is losing 4 hits in the clutch. So not who Boston may not want to have up there, but that's who they have. 5-12, though, is a ground ball first base C. McGuire gets it, flips to Andujar covering, and that's going to do it. Andujar gets out of the inning and pitches the obligatory 5 innings needed to qualify for the win. So now he is the pitcher of record. Might even come back for part of the 6th. We'll have to wait and see. Actually, nope, he's done because with lefties coming up, you got Boggs and Greenwell coming up. So that's going to be it for Andujar. He's going to go 5 innings. And he's going to, let's put it in the computer so I can get the right numbers here. He's going to give up 6 hits and 4 runs. I believe all were earned. I don't see any errors on the board. At least not by Oakland. And let's see, he walked 4, struck out 3. And Greg Cadaret will be the new pitcher coming on for Oakland. This will be his, I'm pretty sure it's his season debut. He's a -6 hold, so that makes him a -5 for Cadaret. But he will come in the top of the 6th. Right now, bottom of the 5th, Al Nipper still out there. And he'll be facing Murphy, Tettleton, and Phillips due up for the A's. And Chuck, since you're here, figure you might appreciate this. I just took this picture right before I started the game of somebody relaxing out on the table in the hallway, looking out the window. That's her spot. She would normally be here with me, but I can't compete with fresh air and, sunshine, fresh air, and a nice little table with a blanket on it. She's all relaxed, paws crossed, and just having a good old time there. And she's still there right now. So that's where she's at the moment. That's why she's not interfering in the game right now, which I guess is a good thing because we don't need any interference. Need to keep it going. All right. Dwayne Murphy to lead it off. 4-11. And that's going to be a ground ball first base X. That's Buckner. He's a 4. E13. 4 and a 13. He'll get to it. E13 and the first baseman. It's got to avoid 11, 13, and 17. Oh, look at this. I have a toll-free call coming in. I wonder who that could be. We're not going to find out, though. So now I'm all distracted from that phone call. So I don't think I actually rolled for the error rating yet on Buckner. He's an E13, 11, 13, and 17. And that's an 11. Now, I don't remember. I don't think I rolled for Buckner. So this is going to be an error on Buckner. He's an E13, and that's an 11 right there. So Buckner boots it. E3. Murphy will reach, and Murphy is looking to get a lead. Hello, Jason. He needs a 4 through 6 or a 4 through 6. He gets the lead. 9, he gets caught. That's a 6. He gets the lead. 15 being held to 13 plus 4 is a 17. And he gets the stolen base. Does Murphy? Stolen base for Murphy. So the error on Buckner is opening the door for potential run as Murphy reaches and steals second base. Nobody out, and here's Mickey Tettleton. Tettleton struck out his first chance. 5-7 switch hitter. Ground ball shortstop X. That is Spike Owen. Owen is a 3. 3 and a 12. Should be a G2, I imagine. 3 and a 12 is a G2. That is a 6, and he is an E17 at short. There's no 6 there, so it's a G2 with a runner at second. G2 runner at second. It says right, so it wasn't hit to the right side. It was hit to short, so that means the runner has to hold. You might be able to run with risk, but we're not going to do that, so he's just going to hold. Here is Tony Phillips. 6-7 for Phillips, switch hitter. Ground ball second base X. We're looking at Barrett. Barrett is a 2E11. 2 and an 8. The ball is hit to the right side, so we know he's going to go to third. Check the error. He is an E11, and he's got to avoid 15, 17, and 18. And he does not. How about that for Marty Barrett? He is an E11. 17 is a one-base error. So second error of the inning on the Red Sox, and that'll put runners at the corners with only 1 out. This is not Nipper's fault. He's just getting some faulty fielding by his fielders. And now Alfredo Griffin is up. Infield is in. 3-7 for Griffin. That is a split. 1-2 is a line out. I'm sorry, 1-2 is a single. 3-20 is a line out. And that's a 2. It's going to get through 4 base. So I might have to replace this die too. All these D20s seem to come up with low numbers. I don't know what the deal is on that, but it just seems to work out that way. Base hit, Alfredo Griffin. RBI for the Oakland A's. They now lead it by the score of 6-4. Here's Polonia. 4-9, and that's a pop out to Buckner at first. 2 away. Nipper trying to minimize the damage and get out of the inning, then turn it over to the bullpen, because I believe this will be his last inning of work. 1-6 for Davis. He draws a walk. 1 more base runner, and Nipper will reach fatigue. So he'd like to get through the inning, but right now the bases are loaded with 2 outs. Clutch situation for Jose Canseco. 2-2 for Canseco, and that's a ballpark blast. But unfortunately for Canseco, it's only a 1-5. But with this Devil Die coming up with low numbers, Canseco's got a good chance for a grand slam. Oh, it was on 1 at the last minute. It flipped to 13. Wow. That came very, very. I just don't like how that rolls. I want to replace that. I just don't like how it's rolling in this thing. It's a fly to left to end the inning. And at the end of 5, it's 6-4 favor of the Oakland A's. And that's going to be it for Al Nipper. Nipper is going to go 5 innings as well. And let's see how many runs he gives up. 4, 5, 6. 5 are earned. And he's going to give up, let's check the base hits and whatnot. Let's see here. Got to fix this in the computer once again. Forgot to put in the pop out to third by Polonia. So Polonia actually pops it up to third, or to first rather. Davis walks, and then Canseco flies to left. Now I can get the full amount on Nipper. He gives up 9 hits. And let's see, Nipper struck out 4, and it looks like he walked just the 1. 1 walk, 4 strikeouts for Nipper. Not sure who the new pitcher is going to be yet. We'll see if the Red Sox close ground or if they keep 2 runs down. It might depend. That might make a difference on who they bring in. Right now for the A's, they will bring on Greg Cadaret for his. I got to go to the computer to make sure I bring him in. Greg Cadaret. And this will be his first game of the season. I believe it might even be his major league debut. 6-2, 4.54 ERA real world. He did not have any saves. So here's Benzinger. He will turn around and bat right-handed. That is a 110 for Benzinger. That's a solid single for Todd Benzinger. I'm going to go replace this D20 because I don't like how it's rolling. Go to my old-fashioned white D20 and see what we've got here. All right, maybe that's a better way to go. I don't know. Wade Boggs, the batter. And with a -5 hold, they're not going to try Benzinger, not going to try for any leads. Boggs, 3-5 lefty is a single, 2 stars. So Cadaret getting quite the welcoming committee. Back-to-back singles, and all of a sudden, Red Sox, runners at the corners, nobody out. 9 runs are on base for Mike Greenwell, another lefty. Infield for the A's, back for the double play. 1-3, and that's a walk. So, boy, Cadaret has just pitched himself right into a mess. Not making any goodwill with his manager, Tony La Russa. That is for sure. Here's Don Baylor, bases loaded. That's a 1, so we'll see if Cadaret what his wild pitch rating is. Meanwhile, back at the farm, the A's do have the bullpen going. Wild pitch rating of 5. And there's no wild pitch. So let's check the bullpen for the A's. See who they have that they might want to bring in here. It looks like they got a couple of right-handers. They have Eckersley, Nelson, and Howell from the right side. And they have Lepra, a lefty. So Gene Full Nelson loosening in the bullpen. And Don Baylor steps to the plate. Oops, that's caught up there, didn't we? 5-10, and that's another walk. It's going to walk in a run. So Cadaret, I don't know what's going on with him, but he can't find the strike zone. And La Russa is not going to take much more of this, I can tell you. Dewey Evans is up. And I think that's going to be it. La Russa says, screw you. We're going to Gene Nelson. So Cadaret didn't get anybody out. Gave up 2 hits and 2 walks. So far, 1 run. Nelson's going to come in and try to minimize the damage. Very awkward debut there for Mr. Cataray. But La Russa couldn't take it anymore. So we will go to the bullpen again, this time for righty Gene Nelson. Gene Nelson. On the replay, Nelson is 7-0 with a 3.70 ERA and 1 save. He's a vulture for the wins. 58 innings pitched, 74 hits, 22 walks, 48 strikeouts. Real world, 6-5, 3.93 ERA and 3 saves. So he comes in with the bases loaded facing Dwight Evans. Infield back for a double play. They're desperate for outs right now. 1-9, and that's going to be a strikeout for Gene Nelson. So paying dividends right away with the strikeout. However, against a lefty, that if Cataray had been in there, that would have been a double play grounder. So you never know sometimes. Here's Bill Buckner. Bases loaded. Now the double play would get him out of the inning. Here's Buckner. 3-5 for Buckner, and that is a fly ball right field B question mark. Lead runner is Boggs. He runs at a 12. The B question mark you add 2 makes him a 14, but Mike Davis is a -2 arm, makes it a 12. 1-12, he can tie the game on a sac fly. And with Spike Owen coming up next, I think they don't trust him to get a hit. So the 60% chance of scoring here might be your best option. So they will send him. 1-12, it's a good sacrifice fly. 13-20, it's a fly ball double play. And it's a successful sacrifice fly from Bill Buckner, and we are tied again at 6 apiece. So Al Nipper is off of the hook. In fact, he can actually get the win if his team would happen to well, actually, Nipper went 6 innings, not 5 innings. Thought that looked weird. He went 6 innings. But he could get the win if the Red Sox take the lead here. 2 outs. Clutch situation for Spike Owen. 6-6 ball game here in the top of the 7th. Owen in the clutch. Luke gains a couple hits here, 110 and 112. That's a 4-8 switcher to bang left. That's a strikeout for Gene Nelson. So those 2 runs are charged to Cataray. And we go to the bottom of the 6th. So Nipper will now get officially a no decision, as will Andujar. So the game is in the hands of the bullpen. Now it's a question of who's going to come in for the Red Sox to pitch. So we need to go to the computer and figure out who's got the best rest and who they might want to bring in matchup-wise. Looking at their bullpen for the Red Sox, these are the arms available. From the left side, you have Tom Bolton and Joe Sambito. From the right side, Steve Crawford and Calvin Schiraldi. Coming up for the A's, 2 righties, a left, and a switch. Actually, 3 switches at the end. So I think they're going to lean toward the right-hander. So we're probably looking at Crawford. And that's exactly who they're going to. Steve Crawford. So right-hander Steve Crawford is coming into the game for the Red Sox. Real season for Steve Crawford. He was 5-4 with a 5.33 ERA and no saves. On the replay, he's 3-4 with a 4.43 ERA and 2 saves. 41 innings pitched, 43 hits, 21 walks, 26 strikeouts. He's a -4 hold. It helped deter some of the base running. And he will start out facing Mark McGwire. So bottom of the 6th, tied at 6. And here's McGwire. 1-3 for McGwire, struck him out. Crawford with a strikeout to start the festivities here in the bottom of the 6th. Bring up Carney Lansford. 3-9 for Lansford. That's a fly to left, 2 down. And that brings up Dwayne Murphy. Murphy. That's a 1-9 for Murphy, and he will draw the base on balls. Murphy will not try for a lead, not with that -4 hold. He'll stay where he is, and Mickey Tettleton steps up the plate. Tettleton, 0 for 2. 110, and he will strike out to end the game. So Crawford pitches a good 6th inning. Good 7th. Why am I out of line here on my... I'm off on my innings for some reason. Did I forget to put something down for an inning? That's weird. Let's see here. The 5th inning should have been zeros for everybody. I'm just way off today, aren't I? Gotta fix this. So that means Andujar actually went 6 innings as well. All right, so Oakland in the 6th got a run, but nothing here in the 7th. So, okay, we're back to 6-6, and we're in the 8th inning. I'm falling behind here. Maybe old age is starting to get to me. I don't know. We're in the 8th inning of a 6-6 ball game. And that means we are allowed, or my rule is now pinching is allowed. So the Red Sox will hit for Mark Sullivan, and they will bring in a much better hitter. Rich Gedman will come in and catch. He won't pinch hit, but he will catch. Now, who's the pinch hitter going to be? Who do they have that's available? Well, of course, you got Rice. All the good hitters, though, are right. All the hitters left are right-handed. You got Romero, Henderson, Rice, and Burks. So they're going to have Jim Rice pinch hit. So Rice will do the pinch hitting, and now the chainsaw gang is back at it again. They were quiet for a while. I guess they needed a rest or something. I don't know. Not exactly the smoothest thing going today in this game. So Rice, the pinch hitter, and you got trucks going up and down the road from the one side, and you got the chainsaw on the other side. So I'm surrounded by noise because I have the window open for Tabby. If it wasn't for Tabby, the window would be closed. I'm going to have to hear all that. But sometimes you have to do things for Tabby that, or at least I do. You don't have to, but sometimes you just do things for your pets that aren't maybe the most, they aren't the best options for you, but you do it for them. So we do it. Here's Jim Rice hitting .256 on the replay. 6 homers, 36 driven in. He had .277 real world. Pinch hitting for Sullivan. That's a 4-8, and that's a strikeout. So Rice is down on strikes. Rich Gedman will take over in the catching position in the 8th inning. Here's Marty Barrett. Barrett is 0 for 4. 3-7. He draws a walk. So he is the go-ahead run. He could try for the lead. He needs a 4. The only way he gets the lead. He doesn't get it. Here's Benzinger. That's a 3-7 for Benzinger, and that's a strikeout. Benzinger out on strikes. 2 down. And that will send up Wade Boggs. Nelson to Boggs. Boggs is 2 for 3. 4-7. Ground ball second base X. We're looking at Phillips. He's a 4. 4-14. He'll get to that. E21. He's got to avoid 4, 13, and 17. Which he does. So good play for Phillips. That will end the inning. We go to the bottom of the 8th, tied at 6. Crawford back out for his next inning of work. That's going to be it for Nelson, I believe. Nelson will go 2 innings. And let's see what he did here. Struck out 4. Walked 1. Gave up nothing else. So Crawford back out for his second inning of work. And we need to bring in Gedman to catch on the computer, or the game doesn't like that and won't let me continue. Beeps at me and says you need a catcher. So we go to the computer, get Rich Gedman, drag him into the catching position or the number 9 position, plop the C for the catcher next to him, and now we're ready to go. So Crawford will be facing Phillips, Griffin, and Polonia here in the bottom of the 8th of a 6-6 tie. Hello, Dr. D. Hello, World's Worst. Good to see you. All right, Phillips will lead it off. 6-2, switch hitter batting left. That's a fly ball left field X. We're looking at Greenwell. He's a 4E10. 4 and a 4, that's going to be trouble. That should drop for a base hit. 4, oops, wrong chart. Get this chart up. 4 and a 4 is a single. And now the E10, he's got to avoid 3, 4, and then 14 through 18. So basically 14 through 18, which he does. But the base hit's going to count for Phillips. Leadoff single. Here comes Griffin, and he's an A bunter, so I don't like to bunt much, but to me, this reeks of a bunting situation to try to get the go-ahead run in scoring position to try to take the lead into the 9th. So Griffin will bunt. See the bunt's going to go to. It's a 6. So the bunt is going to the third baseman, Boggs. He's an A bunter, becomes a B bunter with the corners in. So 1 to 9 pretty much is a good bunt. That is a 9. Round the numbers. It's a good sacrifice. So it's going to go 5 to 4 on the sacrifice hit. Griffin does his job. Gets Phillips into scoring position with 1 out. And turns it over to the top of the order for Luis Polonia, left fielder. Polonia is 1 for 4. Phillips with decent speed at second base. It's a 1-9, and that's going to be a ground ball first base B. That will get Phillips to third, but now there are 2 outs. And it's going to be all up to Mr. Mike Davis in the clutch. In the clutch, Davis will lose a hit, 110. That's a 5-5, and that's a walk. So the inning continues, and here comes Mr. Canseco. So Jose Canseco coming to the plate with runners on the corners and 2 outs. Clutch situation for Canseco. Canseco in the clutch will gain a hit, 110. Everywhere else he is neutral. It's a 3-11 for Canseco, and it's a ground ball to third. Boy, would have been a ballpark blast here, but still only 1-5. Probably wouldn't have happened. But ground ball to Boggs, and that'll end it. We go to the 9th, tied at 6 apiece. Now the Oakland A's will bring in a new pitcher as we have Greenwell, Baylor, and Evans due up, followed by Buckner. Let's see if they decide to go to Leaper, the lefty, perhaps. Thinking that's where LaRussa might be leaning. Absolutely. Dave Leaper, the left-hander. So we got Dave Leaper, a left-hander. He's coming on to pitch. In the real season, he was 2-1 with a 3.78 ERA and 1 save. Don't tell me we have circles in the sand. Hope not. All right, I don't think we do. 3-1, 3.78 ERA and 1 save. That's the real season. On the replay, he is 2-1 with 2 saves, but a 0.75 earned run average. He has undoubtedly been their best pitcher out of the bullpen. Dave Leaper, definitely overperforming. He is a -6, which makes him a -5. So Leaper, 24 innings pitched for Leaper. He's only given up 13 hits, 10 walks, 18 strikeouts. And he's going to start out facing Mike Greenwell, lefty-lefty matchup. That's a 5-10. Oop, didn't have Greenwell out there, but it's off the pitcher card anyway. 5-10 is going to be a walk, though, so he's going to walk Greenwell. Those leadoff walks will come back to get you. Greenwell. Now here comes Don Baylor. Would normally be a bunt situation here, but obviously Don Baylor is not much of a bunter. So they're going to have him swing away. 5-6, and it's a strikeout for Leeper. One away for Dwight Evans. 3-7 for Evans against the lefty is another walk. Walk, strikeout, walk. 2 on, 1 out for Bill Buckner. Do they pinch hit for Buckner? They could. Buckner is, Buckner, though, he's had a perfect day. He's 3 for 3 with a sacrifice fly, so they're going to let Buckner hit. He's got a hot game going, so they're going to let him hit. Buckner against Leeper. 3-7, and he grounds to first for a double play. 3-6-3 double play to end the inning. So he thought about the pinch hitter, and maybe they should have went that direction, but since he was 3 for 3, they gave him the benefit of the doubt. But Dice said you should have made the move, I guess. All right, Steve Crawford is showing as tired in the computer. I'm not sure why. I think he's only pitched 2 innings. So he shouldn't be tired. His fatigue is number 3. So I don't think he's been overworked. Let's see what we've got here coming up for the A's. We have McGuire, Lansford, and Murphy. So we're going to keep Crawford out there for a 3rd inning. He's pitched 2 shutout innings, so no reason to take him out. Here's McGuire. He can end the game with 1 swing of the bat. 1-6. And what did I just say about ending the game with 1 swing of the bat? Was that a little bit of a foreshadow or what? 1-6, Mark McGuire, 1-6 against the right-hander. Wouldn't matter who you brought in. You could have brought in Cy Young. It wouldn't have mattered. He's got home runs on 1-6 on both sides. So it didn't matter. Home run, it's gone. Walk off. Mark McGuire walks off the Boston Red Sox with his 2nd home run of the game, his 28th of the replay. And the A's get the win. Leeper actually vultures the win in relief with 1 inning, 2 walks, and a strikeout. Nothing else. Crawford's going to go 2+. He's going to give up the 1 run, obviously. 2 hits, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. But he will take the loss. So we'll put this in the computer. Yes, Jeremiah, you are correct. It is definitely clean as a baby's backside. And we're going to the box score now and get the totals for everybody. Or I might be brave and do it manually. I haven't decided yet. Let's see here. Whoa, now Tabby has joined us here at the last minute. So it ends up being a 7-6 game. 7 runs, 11 hits. And were there any errors in the game? I don't think there were any errors in the game on either side. I'm sorry, Red Sox had 2 errors. What am I talking about? We had 2 errors in the same inning. Right here, back to back. So the Red Sox had 2 errors. A's had none. For Boston, 6 runs, 8 hits, and 2 errors. Winning pitcher is Dave Leeper, and the losing pitcher is Steve Crawford. And the Oakland A's now improved to 47-30. Boston drops to 33-45. And that completes the July the 2nd date, Thursday, July the 2nd. On Friday, there are 9 games to be played because 2 sets of teams did not play on this date, but they have double headers on the July 3rd date. So we got 9 games to play. It's It's only 5 days in the week, so I'm tempted to stretch the July 3rd out to 2 weeks of games if I'm going to show everything. Not sure how I want to do that. I might just do the 5 and maybe throw one extra in during the week or something. I don't know. So I can get through in 1 week, but it's going to be tight to try to do that. So that's going to do it from here. Looking ahead to the weekend, we have, later tonight, or later this afternoon, rather, for anybody that might be a golf fan, History Maker Golf, we're going to have the first 3 rounds of the Valero Texas Open. That will be posted probably around 3 o'clock this afternoon or so, or 5. I want to mess with Spokane Steve. I want to make sure he's either get it in before he does it or after he does it, one or the other. Then tonight around 9:15-ish, we'll be looking at the Colorado Rockies replay, 2005 Colorado Rockies replay. They've headed west, so they'll have the first of 3 games against the San Diego Padres. That will be tonight. Tomorrow, Fall Classic Baseball, the NBC game of the week, 1979. It's Montreal Expos and the Pittsburgh Pirates. And then, of course, on Sunday, we will have the final round of the Valero Texas Open, as well as Sunday Basic Sunday in Strat-O-Matic Basic, 1962. So that's going to do it from here. Hope you all have a great weekend, whatever you have planned. If it's hot in your area, stay cool, stay hydrated. Enjoy the hobby, stay indoors and enjoy the hobby. I'm glad I cut the grass yesterday, so I don't have to worry about it now when it's hotter. So I'm able to sit in it, and who knows with the heat next week. I'm going to be probably a hermit and stay inside, so I might be playing some of these doubleheaders. I might play doubleheaders when I come on at 9. I might just play back-to-back doubleheaders and get some of these games out of the way, get them finished up. Not quite sure. But anyway, A's win at 7-6. Hope you all have a great weekend, whatever you have planned. Till next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I'll see you all down the road.